So, today for our practice, I'm going to invite the chime to sing. And we're going to continue our conversation about dana, generosity. And specifically, we've been talking all month long about how not only how we give, but how we receive. And it is one of those kind of curious sacred paradoxes in a way that when we are in a posture of receiving, we are actually also in a posture of giving because we give other people opportunities to be giving. And so this really is about expanding and softening and opening our hearts and minds to receiving in our lives. And it's a challenge because many of us harbor an idea, a story, or even a practice that we're giving, 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 giving. But the minute we are receiving, we're like, no, stay back. So we're softening that. We're looking at that. We're getting joyfully curious about it. So let's invite the chime to sing, and I'll share with you a sentiment of metta. Metta is loving kindness. I have this wonderful bowl of all of these little hand-painted cards that I write sentiments of loving kindness on the back. Oh, this is so perfect for me personally, and I hope it's perfect for you too. This one reads, "May you be kind with your words. May you be kind with your words." I'd like to invite you all to arrive. Your afternoon and morning, you can put it down. Maybe just put it beside you if you're still hanging on to anything that happened today or the day before. Just let them sit, those memories sit beside you. And if you have anything happening later on this evening, maybe you can put that also down beside you. And just see if you can create a nice space in this moment. I'd like to invite you to relax, and if that means lying down, I encourage you to do so. Lots of people do. I find it a great honor and a great sign of respect. If you fall asleep, it shows that you are comfortable. It also is a gentle reminder of the body needing rest. And I like to emphasize rest on the journey of recovery. And not just a pause, not just a break, not a nap. Deep, restorative, healing rest. For those of us who have had a negative relationship to alcohol and drugs, the body's chemistry is awry. And it takes time for the body to heal, to recalibrate, to adjust. And in fact, it takes a lot longer than we think, maybe even a lot longer than we have the patience for. And so in a restful posture, we have this opportunity to bring forward words toward ourselves that are encouraging, kind, soft, gentle, compassionate, loving. If you feel inclined to take some deep breaths, please do. Allow your body to receive your wise effort and wise actions of inhaling deeply, inhaling this oxygen that so many guardians of the earth have exhaled. And trees and plant life, and in their life cycle and process, they inhale our carbon dioxide and they exhale pure oxygen for us to breathe and thrive. Receive their care as oxygen to your body. And as you exhale, not only are you exhaling carbon dioxide, but maybe you can even exhale a thought, a feeling, a notion, anything that you might be clinging to. And maybe you can just exhale it with a little bit of awareness of, oh, I'm going to breathe out a little tightness. For me personally, I've had a day where my words have been kind and they've been firm, a little sharp, definitely clear and incredibly boundaried. And so if you're on the receiving end of that, it may not feel kind. It might feel harsh. But I know my own intentions and motivations, and I'm work really hard at choosing my words very carefully. I don't want to be careless with my words. It is actually a devoted practice for me. I don't have it perfected. I make all kinds of mistakes. But today I was incredibly intentional because I was also working with feelings of anger and frustration and sting, because I'm a Scorpio. So I'm stingy. So I'm breathing that in. I'm going to breathe in the memory of those exchanges, the memory of that heat, a little bit of fiery energy, a little bit of rage, actually, frustration, wrath. And on the exhalation, friends, what I'm going to breathe is the wisdom that all beings want to be happy, want to have the causes and conditions for happiness. All living beings do not want to suffer and do not want to have the causes and conditions for malcontent, confusion, discomfort. Just like me. I'm breathing in some of the more difficult emotions, some of the more challenging feelings that really test our spiritual mettle. And I'm breathing out, just like me, all living beings want to be happy, free of suffering, safe, joyful, connected. I'd also like to breathe in symbolically as an invitation of creating space. When I breathe in and my belly expands, my lungs expand, I'm literally creating space. I am embodying more space. And I want that to reflect space for other people to have all the feelings that they have, the full emotional range. And breathing out just like me. People being fully human want to be happy, free of suffering, safe, joyful, connected. Breathing in, I receive the power of oxygen to calm my mind and body. Breathing out, may all beings just like me be free of suffering, confusion, fear. Breathing in, may I receive clarity and calm. Breathing out, may all beings just like me be free. Breathing in clarity and calm. Breathing out freedom, space. Friends, one of my favorite things about Buddhist practice is its capacity to peel away the layers of our habit energy. For those of us on the journey of recovery, our habit energy can be oversimplified and hyperfixated on our negative relationship to drugs or alcohol. But in fact, as whole human beings, we have a whole lot of other habit energy as well. Our reactivity to certain things is a habit. The impulsiveness to be defensive. Anytime we're anxious or nervous, we might have ways of being that are very habitual in our patterns. And so there's a lot to look at in terms of habit energy. And one of the things about very simple breathing, like what we just did together, an act of receiving the breath, an act of receiving oxygen to clear the mind, calm the mind, soften and open the heart. This is an extraordinarily generous act, and the reason is because with a clear mind and an open heart, we reduce the risk for behaving and acting out unskillfully. In a word, we become more generous in our presence. And any time we can be more generous, we begin to fuel the limitless qualities of loving kindness, the limitless quality of compassion and joy, the limitless quality of equanimity, which is our capacity to hold light and shadow simultaneously. These qualities are liberation from suffering. And when we bring freedom to ourselves, by extension, we bring freedom to others. And I can think of no greater act of generosity than that. Thank you, friends. And so for our practice this evening, we'll go ahead and we'll end our practice with a dedication of merit. And for anyone who is new to the Buddhist practice, new to Recovery Dharma, we begin in a Buddhist tradition, we begin by setting an intention for the practice, which was an invitation to be kind with your words. And then we end the practice with a dedication. And the reason is that in our Buddhist tradition, whenever we experience healing, whenever we experience any kind of transformation, whenever we experience the cultivation of virtuous qualities, we really want to extend it. We don't want to keep it just for ourselves. We want to put it out into the world. So we dedicate it outward. And I'd like to call to mind any of our wise friends who are in jail and prison. May they receive the merit and kindness of this practice. I'd like to dedicate this practice to anyone who is in a detox center, in inpatient recovery for substance use disorder or any kind of mental health crisis. I'd like to dedicate this practice to people who are really so courageous and devoted in their practice that they are attending intensive outpatient They are learning all kinds of new skills. I'd like to dedicate this practice to anyone who is experiencing a recurrence of their habit energy. I'd like to dedicate this practice to anyone who is experiencing alcohol or drugs or any real negative habit energy for the first time, exploring that as an option to address any pain or suffering, and may they find alternative options. I'd like to dedicate the warmth and kindness of this practice to all those who are on the streets, in their cars, isolated, disconnected in their homes and apartments. May all beings who are suffering find ease and peace. May they find connection and belonging, and may we continue to hone our own skills to become bright instruments of peace. Thank you for your beautiful practice, friends. We'll see you next time. Namaste.